Okay. We got a place near Strathmere in Sea Isle City. So this was the marsh. It was on the bay. And you know, when you're traveling, you're wondering what, you know, what you're going to do. I didn't feel like just filling my sketch. I wanted a project, I guess. I wanted to do something to anchor into, so to speak. But I was doing bird, you know, I was just, you know, the bird's legs, you know, I was just studying the birds that were right on the bay. This is a type of tern, gull. This gull you'll see again later because he or she seemed to be a regular. This is a green-backed green heron. This is the one that kind of precipitated what I started to do, which was, I imagine this bird was like fishing from the dock, and it kept grabbing minnows, these silvery minnows, and you'd see it reach up and just swallow, stab in and then swallow them whole. So I started to imagine, you know, it started to make me think of camouflage. You can see the way this is like, you know, ochres and like a dark brown or red ochre. So I started to think of the camouflage, and this guy again, excuse me. So I just started to paint, especially, and I was kind of used a limited palette of blue and white because, and gray, blue, black, and white, with touches of, you know, the colors that you see there. Again, thinking of the way these things emerge from their surroundings or disappear into their surroundings. So I did this when I was down there. That's the same bird. This is about
Is anybody hearing birds?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drawings come with sound effects.
Oh, I'll mute myself. It's outside my front door, which is open.
oh, I thought it was me.
I'll mute. Hold on.
I happen to. I got a lot of blue jays out here doing the same thing. There's a blue jay out here. So
Wow, that's nice.
one of the funny things about these shorebirds, as opposed to like the birds around here, you probably noticed it, is that other than preening like this one and this one, they're preening. They sit around a lot doing nothing, but looking around, nose to the wind. You know, seagulls are always nose to the wind. If you're sailing, you know to look at which way the seagulls are facing, and that tells you where your point of sail is. So anyway, like I said, I was using a limited palette of blue, gray, mainly, obviously mainly. But I was thinking it was kind of like a march towards abstraction, I think. I don't know, because this is in the early stages. So these were two young terns, also on a bulwark there, waiting for food. And this was a.
Oh, I like that one.
I didn't keep up with this.
Yeah, that's really nice. Very inventive.
Oh, thank you.
I like that too.
This is obviously an egret. This one seemed to be like a sentinel. Like down here, there were all these other egrets feeding, etc. You know, white, but this one's head was always up, like looking around. So, and that's about it. That's from last week.
Very nice.
I like the one. I like the one on the post.
This is nice.
The color, not that one. Well, that
This
one.
one. Yeah.
I love that. That's really great. I like the post. It's just.
Thank you.
I like the rushes. The one with the egret.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Thank you. Yeah.
They're very alive, Terrence. Really.
Yeah, nice.
Well,
All of them.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I'd like to. I really want to get these guys. This, in life, of course, you know, you got to identify what bird you're looking at. But these seem to be what's called a gull-billed tern, and the lower mandible kind of turns downward, and it has more of a gull-like upper mandible. But this is actually bright red ochre, I suppose, so that the parent can, it's like a target. So something to work on. And that's that.
I like
You know
the
your birds.
the drawing that you have with the watercolor, with the standing bird.
The
That
heron.
one. There's something subtle in that that's really nice. It's a nice use of watercolor to just accentuate the drawing.
Yeah, I was taking. I didn't want to work in the earthy colors that this bird is, but this bird was like a. It was like a friend. It was living there the whole time and just fishing. It's pretty hilarious the way they. To think about that camouflage. You know, you're like I said, you're a fish swimming along, and then all of a sudden, wham, you're up and out, and you're down the gullet. Unlike like anybody who's seen the kingfishers, which will catch a bird and then beat it to a pulp against whatever it's on, and eat it dead. But it'll just like keep beating it. This one just ate him alive. So
Wow.
so that's
So,
that.
You must have been drawing pretty quick. I mean, but you've got a lot of detail in there.
Yeah.
Well, that you try to. Well, these, like I said, these can stay still like that for a while, just waiting. I mean, its neck will go down all the way down to here. It's curled up like a spring, and then it just shoots down. Next thing you know, it has a fish in its beak. So
Let me,
That's nice.
can you go back to the one with the claws? I want to try an experiment. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to show. Do you see the blue outline?
Yes.
Okay, that part I just love, and
Yeah.
and that's the annotate tool that I'm not sure where the rest of us have. Anyway,
Well,
thank you.
it's interesting you say that because I did try this in an 18, the bigger 18 by 24 like the other ones. However, I didn't get the coiled power of its neck retracted like that, so I started the other stuff. But it's something I'd like to revisit because when that neck is coiled up like that, you can just sense the power and the speed that it's going to come out. And I didn't really get it when I tried it larger, certainly. So.
Hey, thank you. It's a bit like Geiger too, the science fiction guy.
Uh-huh.
Sarah, do you want to go?
Okay.
Hey, Michael. Michael, do you have anything to show?
Yes,
Okay.
I hope.
Well, you know, what? Let him go. Let him. Go ahead, Mike. You go.
Well, that Sarah, that share screen and everything. Oh, here it is. It came back. All right, I'm going to hit share screen. Let's see what happens. And of course, it's not taking me where I want it to go.
Now it's taking us.
No, I have pictures open on my desktop, but I don't know how to get that desktop open. I just don't.
Why don't you minimize this window? The minimize is the third one from the top left.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, now somewhere
go.
is your,
gotcha.
There you got it.
Got it.
You got it.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay.
wow.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah, very powerful.
Yeah, I took this quite a few years ago in Center City. It was really when I was just starting to play with creating composites or collages, and this man was walking down an alley in Center City. I put the radio in his hand
Oh,
and then added the boy in the background looking at his cell phone, and I called it Generation Gap.
very good.
Okay, and also that's my first logo on the bottom left.
I wonder.
I've been looking for logos. Okay, here's the next one. I call this the egg and us. Now it's slightly distorted. I'm having a lot of problems with his computer. I'm returning it tomorrow and having the old one that broke down rebuilt. So hopefully I'll be able to show some better, clearer pictures, okay?
That's really great. I like that.
Yeah. When I started playing with the collages, this was actually 2 birds on wire. And the rest of it is all just placing them and turning them. And I called it, "You're in my seat."
That's cute. Very cute.
And this is what I had to show you.
That's great.
I call this waist knot. I did not take this picture. I found it on the internet and I just loved it. So I wanted to share it with you. Now, talk about being creative.
Yeah, that's really
This is
creative.
Great.
Yes.
Great.
great. So anyway, thanks for letting me share.
Mike, I have a question. Mike,
Sure,
I have a question.
Yes,
okay? On
sure.
a few days ago, during the Labor Day weekend, I went for a walk on my hill and I took a picture of 2 utility poles with wires. Yeah. So
Yeah,
if I borrowed your idea with different types of birds,
yes.
because I was thinking of using that wire for birds, I would not have put them that close together, but I like what you did. Would that be considered artistic plagiarism?
Of mine? No, absolutely
No, I
not.
already took the photo of the 2 utility poles, obviously in a field with a blue sky and nothing else there. In order to do something with it, and you just gave me an idea of, that how it might work. So do I have
be my
your
guest.
okay to do that? I mean, or do I have to put a footnote?
No, you can just send me a check with a lot of zeros in it. Other than that, you're free to do whatever you want as often as you want.
Well, I
And
might
I
have to send
appreciate
you a
I'm not-
check with zeros on it because that's in my bank account.
Oh, we must use the same bank. Okay. All right. Absolutely. Please feel free to do what you want and be sure to show it.
Okay, that's what I'll be working on then. I wondered what I would do
have
with it.
fun.
I mean, I knew I put
Yeah,
birds,
have
but I
fun.
wouldn't have put them that way, but, okay.
Yeah,
Sarah,
they're fun to work with.
Michael, what was the title of that piece?
This one,
Yeah.
generation gap. Hold on one second, let me kill this phone.
and the bird one was "You Took My Seat," I believe.
The toilet seat. No, he had a name for that.
Which one?
The toilet seat.
Oh, I called it waist knot. Waist knot, N-O-T, waist knot. I think I have more fun making up titles than I do taking the pictures. I looked at it and I just said, "That's great." That's just great.
Sarah, do you?
I like the soda cans on ice. It's great.
I like the double entendre of that title.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thanks, guys.
Sarah, do you want to go?
All right, I'm going to try. Because I'm actually on Mike's thing, but here. Actually, I forget what did I ever show this? No.
Oh, no, it's wonderful.
Now that was in process. I've since added something to that. But that is paint and collage. I just loved her face, and they're actually man's hands.
Wow,
But I
that's really
just have
amazing.
fun. Yeah, I enjoy. What I'm finding is that I'm learning so many new things that sometimes it stops me now instead of, you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking, what what do I want to use? So I have to slow it down and begin all over again. Does that make sense to anyone?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's wonderful.
I'm glad.
It's very eye-catching. It draws you right in.
Well, Sarah, I'm interested. I'm interested in your juxtapositions. I mean, I would never have thought of putting a man's hand, in the camera with the lady. I mean, it just wouldn't have entered my mind. So I'm interested that you came up with that.
Yeah, well,
Sarah, I have a feeling everyone in the room could have thought of that, but I'm just saying I couldn't have thought of it.
well, I just all, you know, when you start to put these things together and all of a sudden you see something that just speaks to you and it sings, then you do it. And I didn't really think about the fact that it was a man's hands, but it's just the way I liked the way it looked.
And I like the angle that the woman in the bathing suit goes off.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
And can I put 2 cents in very quickly? Can I make a comment, Sarah?
Okay, go
The
ahead.
comment is, okay. I'm going to tell you a story about that camera. That camera is called a Connie Omega. And long time ago, I used that shooting weddings. And the way that you would advance the film, see the strap around the hand? If you would pull that hand out, it was like a slide, and it would pull out, and then you push it in, and it would advance the film to the next frame. But they weren't really great cameras. And I don't remember where, I was at a country club, and it was like 110 degrees in the sun. And I'm taking pictures of the bride, and she's sweating, and I pulled on it, and the camera came apart in my hands. I fell back, and right on the back of my head, and the bride started screaming, "Oh my God, my photographer's dead. Oh my God, my photographer's dead." So I said, "No, just have to change cameras." I just thought of that. So long time ago.
And I bet they're still talking about that when they think of their wedding.
Great story.
Yeah, they're probably all in an old age home now.
Okay, do you have anything else, Sarah?
Do I press stop share?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
She did it.
Okay, Susan, do you want to try to?
I'm
share-
afraid I have to go
Okay.
because of work. Sorry. I'll catch up when you post the video of this.
Okay, I missed the first 2 minutes of it, so, okay,
Okay.
see you, Andrew.
Everybody, have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Anders.
And
Oh, wow.
I don't know where we are. Ray, I'm going to need you. I think I'm on, but I'm not sure.
we're seeing your webpage.
You are.
It's my webpage.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
We can see and hear.
Okay. Yeah, this is my webpage, and I've been updating it. So let me see if I can move it down. These are some other pieces.
Oh, yeah, that's
Wonderful.
from the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
That's from the,
This one,
Yeah, it's from the. I put it in the inspired by.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are some others that I've been working on. Just, it's kind of,
Wonderful.
thanks. Thank you.
Oh, there's the one.
They feel so upbeat and
Colorful.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Susan, I was just remembering one that you had in another show where it was, it seemed like forsythia, you know, the yellow forsythia in the foreground with a dark purple building, I guess it was, in the back. It was stunning.
Hmm.
And it's further, if you raise this up a little,
Oh, you want me to
there.
go? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, there it is.
Ah, here it
yes,
is.
yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
beautiful.
I love that.
Amazing, yeah.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Thanks.
So you do these in your car?
Most of them are done from my car.
Wow.
Why? Why?
Oh. Why? Because it's a pandemic.
But why not in your house?
I'm sorry.
Why don't you do them in your house?
They're, well, I paint them from my car, the landscapes.
I see.
Go on location.
Yes, usually to a parking lot or the side of the road. And I feel safe
Mhm.
inside my car.
Opera used to do that
Good
a
idea.
lot, apparently.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I
These pastels,
I'm sorry.
are these pastels or
No.
watercolor?
These are all acrylic.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Beautiful.
okay.
Very nice.
Really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. My pleasure. So this website is just my name, thewordArtist.com. So I update this regularly. It's a good idea to have a web page if you're an artist, don't you think?
yeah, very good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. I don't know how to get off now.
I'll kill it.
Thank you, Bob.
Mick, do you want to go?
Sure, I'll go. Yeah, that sounds good.
Oh.
So
Yep.
I like how everyone's showing maybe some process stuff lately. So there's a couple of finished pieces I'll show, and I'll show two
Oh, that's
process
nice.
bits too. So this was a sketch of the scene. So over the weekend, I went up to this place called Bridgeport, PA, which is across from Norristown, looking for old industrial buildings. I didn't find too many, but I found this complex, and just tried to figure out how to make the darks work with the lights. But you know, you could tell I was really into how the wires were gonna follow the roadway along and carry your eye. So, and then what I've done is I scanned in the sketch of when it just got started, just to give you an idea what these kind of look like once they get going. So there is a lot of pencil work, and then, you know, you're supposed to work on like the broad washes first to get like the main areas, but it's not that I was getting impatient, but I just wanted to see like how dark I was going to have to go to make the shadows look good, to make them punch out the way I wanted to. It's kind of hard to figure out like what color to make something that you know is red brick, say, for instance, in shadow, because does it really look red anymore? So I'm probably not going to do that again, because what happens is if you don't show the light side that you're trying to think about, then it's hard to envision what the dark is going to look like. So the finished, I don't mind the way it came out. I thought it came out pretty good, but it took a lot of layers to get it the way you want. So sometimes you learn a lesson. You're like, don't fight the medium, right? So with watercolor, there's no point in getting impatient and saying, how dark is dark? You just have to kind of trust the process, as it were, and just kind of roll with it. So yeah, I thought the red brick came out good in the end, but it's funny how I got a little sidetracked.
Very good. It's a very good piece. Very strong.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I love the shadows from
Yeah.
the wires too.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't notice that. Yeah,
Yeah, especially when they interact with that yellow line. It's almost a
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's just dancing around it a little bit. There was some pretty heavy wires up there in this case. You know, you don't always have that. Sometimes they're really on any. But, you know, I guess I see these things, and when I start to distill them, I'm like, oh, I know why I like this, because this.
I like that wire that crosses the street.
Yeah, it's nice to have the connector, right?
That-
It sort of
Yeah.
ties it all together.
I guess there's a couple of them, but that one,
Yeah.
that single one, it brings your eye right back there.
Yeah, it ties it. And I'm not really sure what's happening on that side over there. I kind of cropped it out and kind of took some license with what was happening with the lighter building. There was more going on over there, so I subdued it a little bit. I'm not happy with the tree shadow in the foreground. I could have just left that white, but it's a sketchbook. It doesn't matter, but that was the last thing I did. And I was like, oops, I think I messed it up. That's all right. So the next one was, I was on my bike, I guess the day before on Saturday or whatever. I went up kind of farther than I normally go up into like Rising Sun area up Front Street, just to see what was up there. And I found some nice Hopper-esque forlorn industrial scenes with nothing happening. So I did a real quick sketch of how I wanted, you know, what I thought it was going to look like. And I've been looking at some of these other artists that take away a lot of the perspective, and they look at things sort of broadside, really flat. And it's really like a stylized way to compose things. So looking for scenes like that, because then like the shadows do a lot of the work of the angulation, and then the buildings and the objects sort of lay flat. So you let the light do kind of the work of perspective. So except for the one truck is like really, the trailer has really sort of been diagonalized. I might have emphasized that a little much, but then the wall's angled. And then the roof of the other one is angled. So it really kind of all comes together in the end. You're like, oh yeah. I don't know. I probably am doing way too much detail. So it's fun because, you know, you learn stuff. It's like, I guess the detail stuff, I don't know why I worry about it, because I know I'm going to enjoy doing that. So I need to work on getting those washes better. Like the trees are a little blotted up, and like maybe I need to simplify that stuff. But I was happy with the sky. I always do the skies first. So I started out happy.
I like your graffiti. Is that something you made up, or was it really there like that?
There's usually more of it, and I guess these kids are like repeating their name over and over again. So I usually like take one element of it and just kind of simplify it. I don't do it verbatim unless it's really creative. Yeah, trying to keep the palette limited, but whenever there's something like red drums or whatever they actually were, that's always like a nice pop because it's like up against the blue. And then putting some, like, these were corrugated metal, so I brought in some of the red reflection because it was like maybe a little wet still there. So I was able to just pull in a little bit of the red, even though I didn't really use any red otherwise.
Those trees in the upper left-hand corner, they really pull you in.
Cool, good. Yeah, it's like the darkest area. I really wanted to frame the piece with that, so I'm glad it's somewhat successful. Thanks.
And I like the van. I think that you really captured the perspective. I would guess is tricky, but we can tell it's a van and what angle it's parked at.
Right. Yeah, that's funny because I read about this artist, Robert Bechtel. I've looked at his like sort of empty forlorn scenes, and he's so obsessed with the cars, and, you know, he traces his own photographs and stuff because he wants to get them perfect. But it's like, yeah, I think we all know if you just kind of put taillights and a couple wheels, it looks like a car, right?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I need to looking again always for like just the cues, just so we know what it is. Yeah. Cool. All right. Thanks.
I like with few details you can create an object. Like over on the left-hand side is this object sitting on some orange structure. That's really an interesting.
Yeah, I had fun with that. I forgot I could get close to these things. It's some kind of like work table thing. Maybe it's like a big saw, tabletop saw of some kind. Like there was just all stuff sitting out, all kinds of junk.
It's really cool.
Yeah, and like trying to get just the idea that it's got four legs, so the shadow sides are shadow and these sides are light. And this is like so zoomed in. It's like it's just a little tiny sketchbook. But yeah, those are the details I love. Yeah, I don't worry too much about that sort of stuff. It's these big areas that I need to make sure I don't overwork.
It's something about the trailer in there that's very nearly photographic. I keep looking at it. It's like there's this very subtle transfer of shade from dark to white that almost makes it look like a photograph. Just really jumps.
Thanks. And it's funny, that's exactly something I worked on. I've been looking at other watercolor artists and just the subtlety of using the media, the medium, and understanding how to make the water work for you. So yeah, I've been working on that, or at least trying to. So I'm glad you noticed that. Yeah. There's a lot of magic there. If you let the color flow, right? If you don't force it, you don't just let some of these, I don't know if there's another example of that anyway. Yeah. Yes.
I think it's that there's no like hard edges with the shading there. It's like flows or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Good. Thanks. Cool. Yep. Still trying to figure out the art of watercolor. Thank you very much.
Wow.
You're always good.
Wow.
My grandson loves your trucks. He's making a big deal over your trucks.
Okay.
That's why we're on mute, but he loves them. He keeps screaming, trucks, trucks. And so,
Nice.
Oh, and a cat.
Do you want to go next?
okay, I'll try. Let's see.
And then Diane, do you have something? Hey, hi. Are you going to have something, Diane? Okay. All right. Neela?
Tracy wanted to go, Bob.
Yes, she's on the list.
I do too.
She's next. And
Oh, of course, Janice. Yeah, sorry.
Did I get it? Uh-huh.
Oh,
Very nice.
Nice.
This is from my sketchbook. And I've been doing trees because that's all around us in Chester County. And I go out like every other day and draw something else.
that's nice. We can see a black pencil under drawing.
Yeah, I'll start with the red Conte, and then I will just keep putting more layers on top of it until I think I've had enough. And one more. Okay. That's another page.
Can you hit the plus so that it'll enlarge? The plus that is the magnifying glass with the plus in it over the third from the left on the, no.
On the Zoom? No.
Yeah. I think if she hits the plus, it'll zoom. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have, but it seems to me that if you count from the left, 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I try to get a lot of textures in, but I don't spend a lot of time on them. Maybe a couple hours.
Textures are beautiful.
Those are great.
Yeah.
It's a nice variety of texture.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're different trees.
Oh.
Trees are fascinating.
They really are. They have their own personalities. Neela, are you using different pencils on these, or is it just different pressure of? Yeah, they're different. I use charcoal pencil, I use a 6B, and then I use a 4H sometimes in the background when I wanted to go gray, and maybe a little black Conti in it.
Very nice, Neela.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's all I have. Very nice.
Thank you. Very nice.
Tracy,
Okay.
and then Janice, and then me.
Can you see it?
No,
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I can see it.
To press share.
there you go.
The green thing.
What I'm doing wrong. Okay. Here we go. How's that?
We got your screen. Ah, speaking of wood,
Oh. My goodness.
Now the restaurant is called Toscana, Piccolina Toscana, and so I hung up a lot of my Tuscan work and a lot of the other Italian work and lots of work from South Europe. Now I had this in the Plastic Club a couple years ago, but every time I hang it, which has been twice every time, I think, no, there's something wrong. And I'm finally satisfied with it. I just keep working on it and keep working on it. And I'm finally happy with it, or happy-ish. Yes, that's the better word, happy-ish. I'm really content with the paintings in this environment. They just, I don't know, they seem to blend in well. This was recently at the Plastic Club Geese. I worked on the fence a little more. You can't really see, but it's a little more detailed, whereas it was just lines on Hagen at the Plastic Club. And here's it's called Catalonian Gothic. It's actually Spanish, but they all kind of run together after a while, so we can pretend it's Italian. This was just, it's like this space was made for this painting, or else the painting was made for this space, and I was so happy. It looks really good from far off.
Yeah, it's really good. The way the perspective is really amazing.
good lighting.
That's my favorite.
Tracy, can I ask you a question here? Can I ask a question? Tracy, Anne has introduced me to Corot, you know, the French painter Corot.
Yes.
And then I was also looking at Pissarro over this weekend, and both of them have done those abstract type rooftops and houses. Are you aware of that work? I mean, are you working on that idea?
I spent years studying really more post-impressionism, and so I'm highly aware of that work. Yeah, that's
you are aware.
I come from.
I love it. I mean, I really like what you've done with that the abstract quality of some of the work you do.
Thank you. Now here are actually this is a Greek piece, but these two are Italian. You can hardly see this. Anyway, that's Florence. The rest of the painting is the dome, the Duomo. And this one hung a few years ago at the Plastic Club, but of course I picked at it, and now I'm happier with it. And what else have I got up here? Oh,
Yeah, That's
Well,
what I mean.
That's,
The abstract.
that's great.
It's
Love that.
just, thanks. It's just at the right height. Like I said, the paintings really seem to blend in well with the restaurant itself.
Mm.
No one else has said that, but that's okay with me because I'm happy.
I like it. Beautiful.
Yes.
Thanks.
Very.
Okay, Diane, you said you had nothing. Janice, do you want to go?
What a surprise. So I played with another one. And then I saw a section of that I thought kind of made a statement of its own.
Yes, I agree.
Thank you. And then hold on to your hats. I don't know what this is.
Wow.
It's
That is
beautiful.
amazing.
What I did was I took two paintings of mine and did them in layers, and then I added the planets in another layer. But I worked on this a long time because I wasn't sure what was happening. But I think I've had enough, and it's going to stay as it is.
I think it's beautiful. It's
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's a quite unusual composition. That
Unusual.
radial composition is very effective.
You've really nailed that fantasy color scheme. You know, it just brings to mind things like the dark crystal and things like that. These kinds of purples and oranges, and it's neat.
Yes.
And
If,
they were
Isaac Asimov needed a new novel cover, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
oh,
Great cover.
Yeah.
okay. That's all I have.
Nice.
Oh, that's a lot.
Wow.
That's good. Terrific.
Very
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm last. Let me see if I've. All right. First of all, I've been going. I haven't shared in I think 2 weeks, and I've been going a little bit crazy. This is a collage based on clip art. I downloaded some clip art collections, and you know, this is typical naive clip art style. It might have been a dead end for me, but that's what I did a few times. This is from an old engraving. This is Joan of Arc. The angel is coming and handing her the sword. This is from an old agricultural magazine.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
This looks like a peacock.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a hawk. You know, peacocks.
Right.
And you notice I've added a political message to some of my very subtly up there. This is
Oh,
a
that's lovely.
silent movie actress.
Bob,
I think that's
Yeah.
lovely.
Bob, can you hear me?
Yes.
Could you go back to that one? Did you color these birds?
I used, yes, I colored them. It was a black and white picture.
Oh, okay, cool. You did a nice job.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I mean, most of it was done by style transfer. Most of the coloring was due to style transfer.
Oh.
Those of you who took that class will recognize it. But I agree, the coloring was, I really liked the coloring in that. Okay, this is another science fiction.
Wow.
Those of you who don't know Star Wars won't recognize him. That's the Destroyer of Worlds. But I like the way it combined with this floral Victorian border. You've seen that. This is another famous actress. I've changed my political thing. Instead of saying Trump out, I'm just putting the number of days until the election. So this is minus 56. And E minus 55. And this is another collage from my digging around through clip art. That's an old, that's my stuff.
Very nice, Bob.
Yeah.
Very
Very
nice.
nice.
I like the way you're framing them now. Off edge like that. It's a nice touch.
Yeah, that's, I think this used to be a bookmark. Remember how bookmarks are often off center?
Yeah.
So this is a bookmark, and then in the center is a science fiction thing.
Can you go back to the birds again?
I really like that. Bob, which style transfer did you use? I mean, was it deep, whatever it is, or was it neural style? I mean,
No, it was Dreamscope app.
Dreamscope app.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, I think any style transfer will add the colors. I particularly like this chick.
Would you point it out again?
Pardon?
Would you point it out again?
This one, the
Okay.
French chick.
I'm partial to the little purple one in the bottom there.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
they're
one.
leaving. They're leaving the farm.
Dreamscope.
I think it was the next one too, to the right, Bob. That one I think was one I wanted to look at again. No, it was the one all the way on the left of what we can see right now, all the way to the left. Yeah, that. I don't know which one it was. Sorry about that. Yeah, the there was another one where I thought the coloration you used had really strong unity. It was closer to the beginning of the presentation.
I like that one.
Yeah, that was the first one.
Yeah. I feel that's degenerate because it's, clip art is such lousy art, and these are such cliched figures, but
But they're fun. They're
Yeah,
fun.
they're having
Yeah,
fun.
that actress right there, that one is really well unified. And
Yeah.
that one too. You just get a sense of your, like these, again, this is almost like we were just looking at the space palette, and now we're looking at this really cool like 1920s palette where maybe they're like you're injecting the idea that it's almost like steampunk, like you just took away a lot of your technology, maybe even though you're using your computer, and to really great effect, right? Because you could have went the other way and made it super colorful, but you're not. Like your eye is really well trained towards these subtle effects. I love it.
I assume this was originally an etching? No?
it was in a book. It was a picture in a book. I guess it was an engraving.
Okay. Yeah, either way, yeah.
If
Cool.
you look on my webpage,
In the book, did it say Trump out?
pardon?
The book, did it say Trump out on the top?
No, I had. If you look at my webpage, there is a quote from someone called Doomer, who says that life is meaningless. The sun's going to burn out. The universe is going to collapse. But there's one thing we know for sure is right now we have access to the best humanity's ever done. And all we can do right now is enjoy that. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here. But
That's so true.
yeah, I mean, all right.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks.
Okay.
Great.
You.
So
Thanks, Bob.
Well done.
Diane,